faithful dog waited for him here for 10 years. Now thousands of people wait with him every day. A quick call on the trusty cell phone is usually needed to home in on your buddy. And once you've met up at a Chico, you have to stick tight to your friend. You'll soon be washed over Shibuya Crossing. This is the world's busiest pedestrian crossing. 1,500 people cross on every light change. Up to 250,000 people walk across here a day. Funnily enough, even in a crowd this size, it's easy to spot the tourist. Some stand out more than others. It's an hour before dawn in Tokyo. While outside most of the city still sleeps, the world's biggest fish market is open for business. This is the Skiji Fish Markets. It's as busy as the Wall Street Stock Exchange in here. And wait till you hear the figures these guys are throwing around. A single bluefin tuna is worth around $10,000, and they're selling by the hundred. About 3,000 tons of fish are sold here each morning. That's $20 million worth of seafood, a mouthful in anyone's language. Needless to say, the Japanese love their fish. They eat 1/6 of the world's fish catch. And most of that comes through here. It's destined for the 140,000 food outlets in Tokyo. Once the auction bell rings, just watch the fish fly. The fish are sold in lots to the highest bidder. That's the way it is in many countries. But you've never seen an auction like this one. It's worth getting up before dawn just to see this. These days, frozen fish can be flown in from around the world. This tuna was swimming off the coast of Boston only 24 hours ago. This morning, it sold for $10,000. By tomorrow's end, it will all be eaten. And here's a little-known secret. When in Tokyo, it's best not to order sushi on a Wednesday. Why not? Well, the fish market closes every second Wednesday. So there's a good chance you'd be eating yesterday's catch. Weaving down a Tokyo back street before lunch can really get your stomach grumbling. Lying in wait outside every restaurant are windows of temptation laden with perfect plastic replicas of their meals. Copycat cuisine has become an art form in itself. After a slice of silicone sashimi, or even some pretend plastic pasta, just find the giant chef and follow Tokyo's restaurateurs down the streets of Kappabashi town. If you can eat it, they'll model it. From beer to bread, cuts of beef, even the humble hot dog is immortalized in plastic. You want fries with that? This is the fake food showroom proving that presentation is everything. A spread of this plastic sashimi substitute could set you back $2,500. For a cheaper souvenir, well, you really can't go past one of these sushi key rings. Tokyo never sleeps. There are more 24-hour convenience stores per square mile here than anywhere else in the world. And if you can't find one, well, there's always a vending machine nearby. Drinks? Check. Cigarettes? Check. A can of coffee, perhaps? Or a beer? What about some medicine? Herbal tonic? You can even pick up a set of fashionable fingernails. In Japan, the humble vending machine is always at your service. From the country that brought you hi-fi, high-def, and high-tech comes the latest in innovative technology. Welcome to the Super Bowl, the futuristic world of the Japanese toilet. People will pay up to $4,500 for the latest juiced-up John, which has an array of onboard electronics to rival the space shuttle. It starts with the self-raising seat, and the list of features is impressive. For a start, it's pre-warmed, and this caboose cleaning control panel helps guide an array of water jets and air dryers around your nether regions. Hands-free ultra hygiene. They even impregnate the porcelain with antibacterial substances. The leading toilet company is Toto. Their slogan? Even your bottom wants to stay clean. After sitting on this fabulous throne, your bottom would be very happy indeed. Tokyo hides many of its secrets beneath the hustle and chaos of its streets. But some secrets lie just beneath a shirt or suit. Horomono is the art of traditional Japanese tattooing. Far more than your girlfriend's name on the bicep or flaming skull on your chest, these intricate designs are based on ancient myths and legends, weaving the tales of dragons and gods across the person's chest, down their back, and beyond.
People sometimes leave their skins because it is a work of art that the artists have engraven in your skin. And there are people in Japan who actually remove the skin after you're dead so that it can later be framed.
Horoshin is one of Japan's finest tattoo artists, tracing his skills to his father and his father's father. This colorful customer has spent 80 hours under the needle. Each visit is broken into two 40-minute sessions and costs around $300. There's around $18,000 invested in this human canvas, and he still needs another 8 hours of work to finish the job. And yes, that is blood, and yes, it does hurt. Few Westerners can commit to the time and expense of a traditional full-body tattoo. But Horoshin let us in on a secret. The master does do smaller designs for tourists, and his best foreign customers are young women. Every morning, while Tokyo's commuters prepare for the subway crunch, a different kind of crunch is looming. This is the early morning practice session at sumo school. This is a secret world. Our cameras were allowed in on very strict conditions. These warriors would not speak, and they were not to be approached at any time. Sumo wrestling is Japan's most popular traditional sport. Its stars are some of the nation's most revered sports heroes.
Sumo wrestlers are definitely sex symbols. They're often treated like pop stars. You read a lot about sumo wrestlers' love life. I mean, you wonder how they could have a love life, but they do.
This is actually called a sumo stable, where thoroughbreds train and lead lives of rigorous discipline. More like monks than professional sportsmen. There are no weight divisions in sumo. and they all aspire to be number one. These are the rookies of the stable, but before they are taught to win, they must learn humility. As they go through bouts, they are watched over by the stable master, himself a former star of sumo, now coaching a new generation to glory. Believe it or not, the biggest star at this stable is not Japanese. He is this guy, Henry Williams, an American from St. Louis. In Japan, he is known as Sentoryu. These training sessions are rich in tradition and have the air of a secret society. Here Sentoryu is putting a young wrestler through the cruelest of initiations. He will taunt and humiliate the man, who is at the point of exhaustion. But to give up is to lose face. A ticket to a sumo event can cost up to $500. However, the secret is a tourist here pays nothing. All it takes is a courteous phone call to the stable master, the right manners and words of respect, and, depending on his mood, the doors will open. How do they get so big? Behind every champion sumo is a champion kitchen. Here, the stable master oversees one of his personal recipes for a meal called shankanabe. It even sounds like a mouthful. Shankanabe is a hearty stew of vegetables and meat that packs on the pounds, but also keeps the fighters healthy. Every stable has its own closely guarded secret recipes. The shopping bill for these boys is astronomical. In the old days, parents would put big-eating sons into a sumo stable because they couldn't afford to feed them. But shankanabe isn't just a favorite of sumos. Close to each stable, you'll find a shankanabe restaurant where these monster meals are served up for the paying public. These restaurants, the stables, and the sumo stadium are all found in the place they call Sumo Town, the Tokyo suburb of Ryogoku. It's not hard to spot the sumo on these streets. If Tokyo was a living, breathing being, it would have money flowing through its veins. It's the lifeblood of the city. Surprisingly, gambling is illegal. And yet the game of pachinko turns over a staggering $300 billion a year. That's twice the size of Japan's entire car industry. It doesn't add up unless you know the secret. The noisy, cantankerous love child of pinball and a slot machine started back in the 1920s. Now, pachinko is one of Japan's most popular pastimes. 20,000 of these parlors dot the country. They are loud, smoke-soaked, and addictive.
I like pachinko first because of the gambling aspect of it. But I also like playing against the machine, having a battle with the machine.
The player can